Very good afternoon, all. Behalf of whole MITS family and Training and Placement Cell at MITS Gwalior, I welcome you all the freshers, new entrants of 2021 batch at MITS Gwalior. So, I, Vikram Rajput, Training and Placement Officer at MITS Gwalior, I'll take you through the Training and Placement Cell presentation. It would be an informative presentation where I'll take you through the basic information and procedures, how we support in MITS to students regarding or in terms of training and placements. So to start with, Training and Placement Cell focuses on all these points and beyond that as well if the need is there. So firstly, we used to support in terms of career planning, not only in engineering cadre, but if any student want to pursue his or her career apart from engineering field, either public sector or in any other interdisciplinary field, we do support, and we used to conduct the activities as well to brief about the planning and how to go ahead with their career ahead. Skills development and training. So whatever the skills need or current skills required in the market, we do provide training for the same. Industry institute interaction. Industry expert lectures. We do call experts from industries and conduct expert lectures for the students on new trends and current market technology trends as well. We do support in terms of getting internship or industrial projects into the industry or any reputed organizations. Of course, we do support in campus placement processes. We do conduct campus placements here on campus, and we do support on off-campus jobs as well. Branding of institute, we do take care of ranking and image of our institute, as we are our students and Training and Placement Cell always the face of the institute in industry. Alumni connect activities, many of our alumni are placed at very top positions in very big organizations. We do connect with our alumni and their organizations for the benefits of our institute and students. So firstly, I would like to let you know what employers demand. Employees means the job providers, any organizations or any company, or we can say director or owner of any company. So what they do expect from the students when they comes to hiring, or when any employer providing any job opportunity to any fresher student after graduation. Firstly, definitely all the students learn technical skills, their subject knowledge throughout the degree duration. Apart from that, all the companies expect soft skills part as well, which soft skills part comprises of your communication skills, your English communication skills, because nowadays English is an international language, so they do expect students should have fluency in English. Apart from that, students' confidence, attitude, learning skills, and other personality traits. So apart from technical skills, they do check soft skills part as well, and this is the first criteria in any selection process wherever you go for job opportunities. Employees, or whenever any interviewer comes for interview, they focus on projects and practical knowledge of students. So whatever the practical projects you would do, you will perform in industry or in our institute, you should have a good practical knowledge on the same. Basic technical knowledge of subjects and clarity on the same. Definitely you will learn all the theories in books, but all these theories, where these theories are getting applied in practical terms, you should know. You should know the application of any subject or any content which you are learning or studying during your degree. Knowledge on branch related softwares. Today's world is getting automation and everything is getting digitization. So definitely software knowledge in your branch, in your field is required. Exposure of industry and new technology awareness is also must. Technology is changing day by day, a world is changing day by day. So new technologies are coming up and older technologies are getting down. So you should be aware about the new technologies as well available in the market. Exposure of industry, which you will take exposure the working culture of any company or organization whenever you will go for any internship program during your degree. Computer skills, of course, as I told you, it's a world of digitization, so basic computer knowledge, or further you should be little tech savvy if you are performing any job in any organization. And apart from that, computer languages nowadays are quite important because all the IT companies as well, they are hiring all other branches. They are not only hiring CSIT students, they are hiring mechanical, chemical, biotech as well, because they have clients in all other fields as well. So that's why they do hire, and they expect from the students, at least students should know C, the basic computer languages. Apart from that, like DBMS and Java would be an add-on. So all these things which employers demand, so this is in demand. If any student or any candidate is up to the mark in all these skill sets, and if they are fulfilling, or any student is fulfilling all these demands, so it is a good sign for the students and to get a job offer in any company or in any organization. Right, so to overcome or to fulfill employers' demand, so training and placement focuses on students and on their overall development as well. So we do conduct different development activities. We do conduct trainings, workshops regarding all these points. And we do conduct, like, firstly, we do conduct always soft skills and personality development workshop for the students. Sometimes technical skills workshop as well, on we do conduct expert lectures as well on current market technologies and current trends in technology. Briefing session and motivational programs to keep motivated students and keep energetic always. And apart from that, we also extend our support to students if any student is preparing for either higher studies or any other engineering services exams like CAT, GATE, GRE, TOEFL, or any other government exams if students are preparing. So we do conduct briefing sessions on time so that students can get benefited and they would be on track if they are preparing for any competitive exam. You can see a glimpse of training and development activities. We do conduct industry conclaves for the benefits of students to make them aware about the current market trends. We do conduct some group discussion sessions, online training sessions, and we have conducted TEDx as well to give an international exposure in different fields to the students. So here we'll go through a basic guideline of job placement preparation, and these points which we are mentioning here, these are not only helpful in on-campus placements, but wherever you go in the market or in an industry, wherever you will go, either in terms of private companies or for PSUs, the process would be same. Firstly, a CV formation and profile building would be there for students, right? So profile building is start with your day one, whenever you are entering in the institute, and with your first semester only. Because whatever the activities, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, along with your curriculum and with your studies, you do or you attempt in your whole 3 years, or starting 3 years, or all 4 years, it started building your profile, so that these activities, if you are participating in good number of activities, so you can write in your CV. Like this, your profile started building. Right? If you are participating in technical contest or non-technical contest as well, so that later on you can write in your CV, if you have performed well, if you have won any achievement, or if you have even successfully participated, so at least you can write in your CV. So you'll have to be little active in not only in your study but in other activities as well, so that your profile would be well built, and you can write and you can show your strength in your CV. Second must is communication skills. As I told you earlier, international language is going to be English is going to be international language. So definitely we should be fluent in English, at least to complete our task or any work or any selection process, and later on our task in companies or in any organization. So communication skills is must. So just after your profile, anyone who is taking your interview, or if you are following any selection process, so your communication skills would be must. Third would be your group discussion techniques. So mostly all the companies used to check the students how good you are if you are working in a team, or if you are working in a group of persons. Definitely you are not going to work alone in a company or in any organization or any institution. You would be working in groups or with your colleagues, with your team members, where other different members would be performing different jobs, and you'll have to coordinate with them. So how you are good at group discussion activities, so that things are going to be checked in group discussion selection process. We called it GD, right? Apart from that, written test, of course, so they used to check your aptitude, mathematical aptitude, basic English, and reasoning, logical reasoning skills as well. So in all the written tests, they used to ask basic aptitude, English and reasoning. And it is the process where you will get everywhere. This process would be same everywhere if you are facing any selection process or any kind of job, either on campus or off campus or after your degree. At the end, they do check, and we also conduct some workshop for personal interviews preparation as well. So personal interviews are one-to-one interviews where interviewer asks candidates one-to-one. They do question and questions to the candidates, and these can be technical as well, and general interviews as well, and HR rounds as well. So general interviews, all we call it HR round, where HR people used to take the interviews, and technical interviews where they do check your technical knowledge of your domain. So we do support in all these activities, but all the students will have to take care of their profile building by day one whenever you are entering in the institute. So you'll have to focus on different activities, curricular and co-curricular and extracurricular activities as well, so that there would be something to write in your CV, in your profile. Because at the end, you would not be able to build up your profile in a day or in a month. You need at least 2 years or 3 years. You would be participating in different technical and non-technical activities in the institute. You would be participating in different activities through clubs. You would be joining clubs, and if you are performing well, if you are doing something extraordinary, you can write in your CV. So definitely we'll let you know at later stage the campus placement process here at MITS in detail, but these are the basic points which I'll just dictate for you. You will be registered in training and placement cell just after your third year or in the end of your third year. We will release a notification to fill a registration form online if you are interested for placements or not. If you are interested, it's well and good. We would consider you for the further placement processes. If you will not register, it would be clear cut that you are not interested on campus placement processes through institute. Campus placement preparation classes we do conduct. We do support through campus placement preparation classes all the activities like profile building, CV formation, group discussion techniques, personal interviews and written tests. We do support students in terms of preparation for the same. So we do conduct sometimes 15 days classes or sometimes 30 days or 45 days classes, which are apart from your academic classes, academic sessions, right? We do call companies, we do connect with the companies, and we do call companies on campus and conduct the campus recruitment processes, placement processes here on campus for the students. And campus placement process includes a very important part, which is your eligibility criteria. You are eligible or not. And that eligibility criteria I am going to discuss on the very next slide. Because the first step is to get into any campus placement process is eligibility criteria. You are eligible or not. So this is about eligibility criteria. So whenever any company is coming on campus, not only on campus, if you are going for interview or you are applying for higher education, so nowadays, or other competitive exams as well, or if you are applying for PSUs, government jobs, so they do put some eligibility criteria for first shortlisting, right? They sometimes demand 60% throughout in 10th, 12th or graduation, sometimes demand 55% minimum in graduation and 10th and 12th, so like this. So 10th and 12th you have already done, so do not worry about your 10th and 12th percentage now, because you can't change it now. You have already done, you are entering into your graduation. But your BE percentage or BTech percentage, your graduation percentage, still you have chance to, to go ahead with good marks and good CGPA in semester results. So mostly the companies which ask 10th and 12th percentage is 60%, 6.0 CGPA minimum. Sometimes companies do demand 6.5 or 7.0 CGPA. So it depends on company to company. They fix up the criteria and they allow the students. But minimum, mostly companies do demand 6.0 CGPA or 60%. There are very few companies, or few companies are there, those who do not demand, 10th or 12th percentage, but mostly companies demand 10th and 12th percentage. But if any student is not having 60% or 6.0 CGPA in 10th or 12th, so do not worry about that. They'll also get chance to apply for the companies on campus or sometimes on off campus, because some companies demand, some companies do not demand for 10th and 12th percentage criteria. Then it comes to your BTech percentage or BCGPA, semester results. So which is in your hand right now. You can take care of your results by your first semester. If you are throughout 6.5 CGPA or 65% in your BTech results, then it's quite good. Try to maintain 6.5 CGPA or more. And if you are at 7.0 CGPA, so you would be on safer side, because very few big conglomerates or good companies, very few companies do demand higher level of percentages or CGPA to shortlist the students. But minimum is 6.0. If you can maintain 6.5 plus, so you would be on safer side. I'm telling you this is in advance. So you would be on safer side by starting by your first semester only. So maintain your CGPA minimum 6.5, 60 or 65%, so that you would not face any shortlisting criteria problem in advance only, or in starting of placement processes. Apart from that, you should not have current backlogs. Whenever you would be sitting in campuses, they want students should have cleared all their subjects or previous semester subjects as well. If you are having backlogs in first semester and if you have cleared in second semester and company is coming in third semester, then it's totally fine. If you have previous backlogs but you have cleared it in previous semesters or current semester, then also it is fine. But try to study all the subjects thoroughly so that you would not have any backlogs in the subjects. Very few companies, sometimes if you'll pursue or if you'll apply higher studies in foreign countries, so they do demand zero backlogs. They won't allow any backlogs in any semester. So try not to get any backlogs or not to get failed in any subject in any semester. Although it would be manageable because you would clear your previous semester backlog in the next semester exams, but try not to have any backlogs, so you would be on more safer side. Academic gaps, sometimes few companies demand or they allow for 2 academic gaps. Suppose if any students is having a gap after 10th or a gap after 11th before 12th, they have a 1 gap, and they have taken a drop again after 12th. So 1 gap before 12th and 1 gap after 12th. So there are 2 gaps now, right? Again, you can't do anything about your gaps. If you have 2 gaps, well and good, then also it is fine. If you have 1 gap, if you have taken a drop after 12th, then also it is fine. Sometimes companies allows students, those who have taken 1 gap after 12, those who have taken a drop, it is totally fine. Sometimes companies allow 2 gaps and sometimes companies doesn't put any criteria about gaps, right? So if you have 1 gap, you are totally on safer side. If you have 2 gaps, like suppose you have 10th onward, if you have two gaps, so then also it is fine. Hardly 1 or 2 companies demands a criteria of 1 gap only. They don't allow students those who are having 2 gaps, but maximum companies allow those students those who are having 2 or more gaps, or some of the companies do not have any criteria of academic gaps. So don't worry about 10th and 12th percentage now. Don't worry about your academic gaps, but take care of your BTech percentage, which is in your hand right now. So you can start preparation, you can maintain your result at good CGP or at good percentage by starting semesters. Other eligibility criteria are very basic, like age criteria is there, completion of degree on time, like you have 4 years engineering degree, so your engineering degree should be completed in 4 years only. Or if you are in MCA, PG, so your MCA degree should be completed in 3 years, or if you are from lateral entry, so 2 years, right? So you should not have any backlog in the last semester, otherwise you will have to wait for next 6 months to pass the last semester backlog. Then your degree would be extended for more 6 months. Then your total degree, if you are in BTech, then it would be 4.5 years. Or if you are in MCA, then your MCA degree would be 3.5 years. So your degree should be completed in stipulated time or whatever the duration of your degree. Willingness to locate anywhere, definitely all the companies are located around the big cities. If you'll find opportunities nearby Gwalior or in Gwalior city, there are very few companies and organizations who provides job. Definitely you'll have to move out of Gwalior, so you should be open or you should be mobile enough to relocate at any position, right? So this is the basic criteria. But apart from that, if you fill all these criteria and if you are going for any selection process in any company or any job selection process, companies or employers demand an overall fit guy or girl to perform any job, or they offer a job to an overall fit guy or girl or a candidate, right? You should be good at communication skills, you should be good at the whole soft skills part, you should be good at technical skills, you should be good at group activities, and you should be good at other personality traits as well, right? So they do check attitude, your personality, your learning attitude as well, and what you have done in all these 4 years, you were serious enough or not. They check students in 1 minute only, and they can identify who was a serious student, who was genuinely studying throughout their whole degree, right? Because in terms whenever they do start asking questions, different questions, they all are well trained, and they can identify only in 1 minute or in few seconds only what you have done in all your 4 years, or what you have done in your past, right? So you'll have to take care of it. So this is a recruitment process which would be followed by each company or any organization. If you'll go out as well, the same recruitment process or selection process you will face, and you'll have to be prepared in advance. So companies, whenever comes on campus, say they do present themselves and give an informative presentation about their companies and their organizations. They do conduct written tests. Written test comprises of aptitude test, or your basic mathematical aptitude, and also comprises of your English test, sometimes a little part of verbal, non-verbal, and your logical reasoning, and some data interpretation kind of questions would be there. So it would be all basics. So for that you'll have to practice. And sometimes companies do ask if any technical company is coming for other core branches. So they do ask some technical questions as well related to your domain in the written test. Group activities, as I told you, like we also support, and students will have to prepare for group discussion activities. After that, they do conduct technical interviews, then they conduct HR interviews. Technical interviews of your they check your technical knowledge of your domain, and apart from that, other attitude and skill set, soft skill set in HR interviews or in general interviews. So this is the very common process you will face anywhere. If you'll go for higher studies as well, whenever you are facing any selection process for taking admission in higher institutions, or if you are going for any government job as well, the process would be same. So you'll have to prepare, and definitely training and placement cell support, so you'll have to take it seriously. Apart from that, we do support for internship and taking experiences in terms of internship or practical knowledge in industries or in organizations practically. In whole BTech degree, there is a rule you'll have to complete 3 internships. So 2 internship we do support for students in-house internship or training program through in-house internship and training programs. So first training you can do at your institute in MITS only, and second internship also we do conduct for the benefits of students, so that it would be a easy process for students to complete 3 internship. 2 internship we do support totally, so you can attend in-house training or internship program in MITS only. The third internship, definitely you'll have to perform your internship, or you'll have to complete your internship in any company or in any organization, right? So nowadays we have provision of 6-month internship as well in your last semester of your degree. If you are getting any genuine paid internship or any genuine internship for 6 months, and if you'll have to spend all your 6 months of your last semester in industry or any good organization, so institute will allow you to do a 6-month internship as well. So 6 months internship are always beneficial, because you would be working in any organization for 6 months, and they do provide pre-placement offers as well if you perform well or if you perform satisfactory, right? So 2 months and 6 months internships are very important, as you will perform and you do complete your internship on site or in companies, right? And you will get NOC from the institute with the permission of your head of the department, or your department will permit to get an NOC from training and placement cell. So that process you will get to know when you'll come to 3rd year or just after your 2nd year. So no objection certificate you'll get, so that your companies will allow you or it's a kind of certification that you are a student of this institute and you want to do or complete internship in a particular organization. So TNP Cell always thoroughly follows internship and placement policy. Whenever it comes to internship, 2 months or 6 months, you will get to know about internship policy very, very soon. You will get that policy on institute website as well, or once you would have Moodle account. I think you have already Moodle account, so we will put internship policy on Moodle as well, so you can read it. And once you will come in your third year, you will get to know about the placement policy as well in advance. Again, you will get it on Moodle, so you can read it thoroughly. So this is about the past placement records which we have attempted, right? So in 2019, our highest CTC was 6.5 lakhs. In 18, it was 10 lakhs. In 17, it was 6.5 lakhs, and before that, it was 11 lakhs. And 2020 record, if we'll go, so our highest CTC is 14.5 lakhs, which was given by Must Garments, which was an international placement for mechanical students. Apart from that, IT companies were also there. So our CTC was in 2020 batch, which is not mentioned here, which was during pandemic time. So our highest CTC goes to 14.5 lakhs. Apart from that, if you'll see the percentage, so more on average, our placement percentage or individual placement percentage goes for around 70% or 75% sometimes, right? And sometimes more than that. We are not saying we do provide 100% placement, and even we are not saying like we are job providers. We are an education institute, so we do educate students. We just support in terms of placements, or we just support in terms of getting jobs or opportunities in the market. We never quote like, of course, like other institutions, or I would say mostly private institution, like we have 100% placement policy. No, we do not have. So this is our record. So 2020 placement during pandemic, it was little affected, and of course we managed to place around close to 400 students and managed around 20 companies on campus, and still some companies are coming for 2020 batch, so it is going slowly. And but we have improved again for 2021 batch. We have already at the good pace, and we have already conducted many companies, and around close to 300 students are already placed of 2021 batch, of this current batch, not of 2020 batch. So maybe in the coming year 2021 January onward, we would be started getting more companies, so we would be able to place more students, and again we would be at the same pace whatever we were in 2019 placements. 2020, of course, it is affected due to pandemic. So you can see the average salary as well, number of students recruited or number of offers we have made and number of companies we have conducted. These are some our top students' achievements, those who have performed very well in GATE exams as well. So MITS has the history in GATE exams as well, and to give top 10 rank holders in GATE exams, all India rank holders in GATE. So sometimes MITS students from different branch got 7th rank, sometimes 25th ranks, again 7th rank, 6th rank through civil. All India ranked 25th, All India ranked 3rd in GATE exams. So you can see the MITS history and your seniors history in terms of GATE qualification. Not only GATE, apart from that, those who are aspirants for MBA and students are performing well in terms of CAT or GRE exams as well. So some students used to get till 99.7 percentile or 98 percentile in CAT, and they are some of the students are converting the calls of IIMs as well. Apart from the above, there are many students who are placed in top MNCs, top PSUs like IOCL, BPCL, and other PSUs, and some good private organizations as well. So these are some brand names or the recruiters who are currently associated with us, and we do maintain a good relationship with all these brands and these companies for the placements and for other campus connect activities in the benefits of students. So these are some of the other companies with which we are associated, and we do maintain regular relationship, and we do connect for other different activities as well. These are some glimpses where training and placement do conduct some different events as well to support or to give an exposure to our students. And we do conduct and we do call eminent speakers throughout from here and there, good eminent speakers, so that students would have good exposure. We have conducted TEDx, which was successfully completed in 2018. Then again we have conducted TEDx2. You can see the speakers here. We call these speakers on our campus, and students used to get an opportunity to interact with these eminent speakers. We do conduct industry conclaves for all the branches, and students and faculty members used to get opportunity to interact with the top management employees and top employees of different organizations. And we have conducted other industry conclaves, and we have completed other industry conclaves to give an exposure to all the faculty members and to students as well. Apart from that, we do conduct or we support through kind of workshop, or we do conduct for skills development and for entrepreneurship as well. So whoever is interested, they do attend the briefing sessions and all, which are getting conducted under the training and placement. So this is all about training and placement, and how training and placement cells support to our students at MITS Gwalior. Thank you all. So that's it from my side. And if you have any queries, so our training and placement details and contact details and email ID is available on website. So you can write any query if you have at training and placement email ID. You will get a prompt reply if you have any query. Thank you. Thank you all. And once again, I welcome you all at MITS Gwalior. Thank you.
नहीं सर 38 मिनट